Namaskar friends, this is NJ, host on this channel, continuing our discussion on understanding the different ascendants in the D9 chart. In this video, we will try to understand the results of Sagittarius ascendant in the D9 chart or the Navamsa chart. So friends, to begin with, if you want to understand the significance of this chart, so first of all, this chart validates the true strength of the planets in your life or their vibrations in your life. So I mean to say, even if some planet is weak in your main ascendant chart, but the same planet if you will find in a dignified, in a strengthened state in the D9 chart, so that means that this planet's roots are strong and in its time period good results can be attained. The second feature of the D9 chart is that it tells about your complete matrimonial life, how much support you're going to get from your partner in order to fulfill your purpose in this lifetime. And the third feature is that just because this chart is formed by making a ninth division of the zodiac sign from the main ascendant chart, so I mean to say this chart also tells about your spiritual prospects, the prospects of your luck, fortune, how much you're going to get benefited by following the dharmic righteous path in this lifetime. This chart can be seen as the journey of your soul in this lifetime. I mean to say, even if you will take into consideration the lives of all the enlightened beings, saintly people, so more than their main ascendant chart, the answers to their highly elevated and enlightened spiritual state you might find in the planetary alignments in the D9 chart or the Navamsa chart. Now guys, if you want to understand the significance of the ascendant, so ascendant first of all tells about the strength and foundation of that chart. Second is that the ascendant of any divisional chart just tells about the underlying theme of the significations being represented by that divisional chart. So I mean to say, if you have to encapsulate the theme of someone's matrimonial life in just one word, is this marriage filled with love, emotions, adventure, resentment? So all of that you can get to know just only on the basis of the scrutinization of the ascendant of the divisional chart. And guys, if you want to understand the underlying qualities or distinctive qualities of the Sagittarius sign, so definitely this sign is being ruled by the most benefic planet in astrology, which is the planet Jupiter. When we talk about faith, fortune, being very optimistic, being very philosophical, good training skills, so all these are the qualities which are being attached with the functioning of this Sagittarius sign. It is a fire sign and it is also a dual sign. So duality in the context of Sagittarius means that they have this capacity to be very adaptable and molding themselves in any predominant situation rather than coming out or being very rigid in the face of any crisis, in the face of any testing times of the life. Now friends, before we will start our discussion on the Sagittarius ascendant's complete matrimonial life or spiritual path, it's very important to understand the transition from the main ascendant chart to the D9 chart. So you can only get the Sagittarius ascendant in the D9 chart in the situations where either in the main ascendant chart, your ascendant has to be of fire element, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It has to be of the air element sign, for example Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or it has to be of the water element ascendant in the main D1 chart of Cancer, Scorpio or Pisces. So let's say for example, if your ascendant is going to be placed in certain degrees or pada of the nakshatra, then only in those situations you can find Sagittarius ascendant in the D9 chart. And the second thing is that guys, you have to understand this thing, that which area of your life in the main ascendant chart is getting impacted. Now whether when you follow the spiritual righteous path in this lifetime or the contribution of the marriage or your partner, which area of your life is directly getting affected because of that. So let's say for example, in the fire category, if you will first take the case of the Aries ascendant natives in the main D1 chart, so marriage is definitely going to impact the prospects of your fortune and luck. If you have to take the case of the Leo ascendant natives, so in the case of the Leo ascendant natives, your 5th house is getting impacted, which is the house of devotion, your intellect and your risk taking abilities. If you have to take into consideration the case of the Sagittarius ascendant, so I mean to say just because you have the same ascendant in the main D1 chart and the D9 chart. So that means you have got a Vargottam Lagan. You have this capacity to become a conduit or become a medium of the divine grace. Now we will take up the category of the air element ascendants in the D1 chart. So let's say, for example, for the Gemini ascendant, so that means your public image and your partner is definitely going to play a very important role in contributing to your journey in this lifetime. If you have to take up the case of the Libra ascendant natives in the main D1 chart, so in your case, guys, marriage or matrimonial life or the spiritual path can actually become your source of strength. Dharam or the righteousness or truth is your actual strength in this lifetime. If you have to take up the case of the Aquarius ascendant in the main D1 chart, so guys, in your case, your 11th house is straight away getting impacted, which just tells about that your highest of the wishes can get fulfilled just only because of the contribution and cooperation of your partner. And last category is of the water zodiac sign ascendant in the main D1 chart. So if you have to take up the case of the Cancer ascendant, so your partner is definitely going to help you, or marriage can actually help you in fixing up those issues, making you more empowered to handle or face or tackle any of the challenges in the life. If you have to take up the case of the Scorpio ascendant natives, so guys, in your case, your second house is straight away getting impacted. So I mean to say, the path of marriage can actually strengthen your financial state and at the same time could make you more virtuous in this lifetime. And last category is of the Pisces ascendant natives in the main D1 chart. So guys, in your case, as you can fairly see, the energies of the ascendant from your D9 chart is impacting your 10th house of your karma and of your deeds. So I mean to say, marriage can actually play a very important role in order to do your duties, fulfill your responsibilities in this lifetime. So you can also look at it from that ways. Okay friends, now we will try to scrutinize all the houses of the D9 chart and we will try to understand what kind of energies are reverberating in different areas of their matrimonial life. Or you could also look at it in a way that what kind of energies are forming up the limbs of their spiritual caricature in this lifetime. So just because of the presence of the most sattvic and benefic Sagittarius sign in their first house, that just tells about that marriage could be filled with the flavors of strong ethics, values, morals, concern, love and respect for each other. And at the same time, there is definitely going to be this possibility that marriage is going to bring luck and fortune in their life. Now the moment you are going to enter their second house of household finances and values, so you will find the energies of Saturn's Capricorn sign over here, which just tells about that they will definitely have this capacity to accumulate strong and substantial financial gains through marriage. So I mean to say, when we talk about the financial stability, so let's say for example, if the planetary alignments in their main ascendant chart is not indicating their capacity to save money, so after marriage, and if Saturn is going to be well placed in their D9 chart, it is going to give this indication that post marriage they will be able to inculcate this habit of saving money. You can also look at it from that ways, and at the same time they could be a little bit orthodox and traditional with their values. Now guys, the moment you're going to enter their third house, so third house tells about their communication, their courage, their valor. So I mean to say, when we talk about the prospects of communication, you will definitely find them bit friendly. So I mean to say, even when there will be all those situations when they have to discuss very sensitive, very important matters in the marriage, so they will try to put it on the table in a very friendly way, in a very amicable way. Now guys, the moment you're going to enter their fourth house, so here you're going to find the energies of the sign which is being ruled by the same planet which is ruling their ascendant. So I mean to say, the energies of the Pisces sign over here. So when we talk about the fourth house of the D9 chart, that just tells about how much comforts and how much happiness they are going to attain from the marriage. So like the way I was telling you this correlation that the ascendant lord only is ruling the same house, so the whole focus of marriage is definitely going to be directed towards how much happiness they are going to get from the relationship. So they will not be among those people who will just get married for the sake of society. They will be among those people who actually want to feel nourished, taken care of, and feel happy and fulfilled through marriage. You can also look at it from that ways. Now guys, the moment you're going to enter their 5th house, so now here you're going to find the energies of the planet Mars in the form of the Aries sign over here. So when we talk about the 5th house in the D9 chart, that tells about your devotion, that also tells about your romance. So I mean to say, in the matters of romance, you will definitely find them little bit headstrong. So like they will not be among those people who will take time in taking any important decision. So they will be among those, if they think that this gift is going to make their partner happy, this decision in the marriage is going to make their partner happy, so they will be very quick in taking those decisions. So that kind of approach you can see because of the presence of the Martian Aries sign over there. Now guys, the moment you're going to enter their 6th house, so now 6th house tells about how much challenges, how much obstacles you're going to face in your marriage or in your spiritual path in this lifetime. So just because of the presence of the Taurus sign over here, so Taurus is being ruled by the planet Venus, a planet which thrives on harmony, maintaining a balance and diplomatically coming to the solution of any problem. So I mean to say, they will definitely have this capacity to how handle any of the challenges coming in the path of their marriage, and definitely their inculcated values might reflect there, that how gracefully they are handling the challenges of the relationship or the challenges of the marriage. And at the same time, their family members could also play a positive, encouraging, arbitrating role in the difficulties of the marriage. So that is how you can relate the energies of the Taurus sign in their 6th house. Now guys, the moment you're going to enter their 7th house, so in the 7th house you're going to find the energies of the planet Mercury in the form of the Gemini sign. So I mean to say, no matter how much philosophical they are, how much writers, law-abiding they are, they will run into a partner who's going to be little bit frivolous, who's going to be very communicative, very jovial, a childlike qualities and nature. So I mean to say, these kind of qualities they will find in their partner or the behavior of the partner. So because of which marriage could be filled with the flavors of travels, adventure, open channel of communication, respect for each other. So that is how you can see the energies reverberating in their 7th house. Now guys, the moment you're going to enter their 8th house, so here you're going to find the energies of the planet Moon in the form of the Cancer sign. So I mean to say, 8th house tells about your deep unspoken emotions. Even when we talk about the sexual intimacy, so how deeply you are connected with your partner, all of that physical intimacy as well get associated with the energies of the 8th house. So I mean to say, they will definitely be very passionate in the matters of love, romance, because Mars is already ruling their 5th house of romance, and again the 12th house of bed pleasure. So because of which they could be very passionate, and at the same time, see, 8th house is also the house of your in-laws. 8th house is also the house of your joint resources. So they might be able to find all kind of emotional nourishment from their partner, from even their family of the in-laws. So even from that perspective, this placement of the moon's or Luna's Cancer energies in their 8th house can be seen as a very good sign. Now guys, moving to their 9th house. When we talk about the 9th house of the D9 chart, this house plays a very important role, because this house act as a glue which keeps the bond of the marriage intact. So I mean to say, because of the presence of the Leo sign over here, that just gives us this indication that they will definitely be very proud of their values, their ethics in the marriage. Like for example, even if you talk about their belief, their spiritual belief, or the discourses or the guru they have faith in, so they will be among those people who will be very proud of them. So you cannot just say anything unreasonable to about their guru or people they have faith in, they have belief in. So I mean to say, because of the presence of the Leo sign in their 9th house, which in itself tells about what are they proud of. So I mean to say, their integrity, their ethics and values within the marriage, with how much devotion they are following their marital duties. So you will definitely find them very proud of that, and at the same time their could be those possibility as well that you will even find them boasting about their contribution or their efforts in the relationship. So you can also look at it from that ways. Now guys, if you will enter their 10th house, so 10th house tells about your partner's cooperation in fulfilling your duties and responsibilities in this lifetime, and at the same time how your marriage is being perceived in the society. So because of the presence of Mercury's like Virgo sign over here, that just tells about that definitely they will be seen as those couple or those people who have organized and managed all the nuances, all the nitty-gritty of the relationship in a very efficient, in a very perfect way. Or let's say for example, marriage might ask them to be very organized in all areas of their life, how they are managing their domestic life, how they are managing their career, how they are managing their finances. So I mean to say, these kind of energies you can see, you can find because of the presence of the Virgo sign in their 10th house. Now friends, coming to their 11th house of hopes and how many wishes of theirs are going to get fulfilled by following the right spiritual path in this lifetime, or how much contribution of marriage is going to be attributed to the fulfillment of their wishes. So I mean to say, because of the presence of Venus's Libra sign, now Libra, which is the original 7th house's energies, so I mean to say their life partner is definitely going to play a very important role in the fulfillment of their wishes, and at the same time they have this natural charm in their personality which is definitely going to make them a part of or like a life of any social gathering, any social group they will join. So that is how you can correlate the energies of Venus's sign over here. And last friends, if you will enter their 12th house of D9 chart, so that just tells about how much sacrifice the path of spirituality is asking from them. And let's say for example, for someone in the matrimonial bond, how gracefully they are able to handle any of the situation of losses or expenses. So I mean to say, because of the presence of the Mars's Scorpio sign over here, so Mars is not only ruling their 12th house, but at the same time Mars is also ruling their 5th house. So when we talk about the Scorpio sign, it is a very unpredictable and at the same time very intense energy. So let's say for example, if the whole chart is indicating and reverberating very intense spiritual energy, so this placement can also indicate towards that native might completely refrain himself from any of the indulgences just in order to preserve his energy for his spiritual goals. But let's say for example, if the overall chart is not indicating in that direction, then this placement of the Mars's Scorpio sign in the 12th house could also make native highly sensual as well. So that is something guys which I wanted to share as a part of my like inputs for the Sagittarius ascendant in the D9 chart. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Thank you.